Yeah.
We got London on the track.
This is all God's doing, man, you can't plan it. But if the devil's in the details, then I'm satanic.
People's Kid, how we doing? It's your boy Kobe back from another video. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Got a fun topic today about a player who I believe is still currently a bit under the radar and will unmistakably blow up even more in the coming months. Without a doubt, Oklahoma's Trae Young has taken over college basketball in the final months of 2017 and has made talking heads across sports media wonder how good he will become in the NBA. Even though I think Young does have some weaknesses that can stop him from reaching superstar status, I still can't help but think he has an incredible opportunity to be one of the top players, if not the top player, in the 2018 NBA draft. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 3. He might be having the greatest freshman season in college basketball history. Let's start with the most obvious reason as to why Trae Young is turning heads in the NCAA this year: the numbers. Through 11 games, the Norman, Oklahoma native has averaged a ridiculous 28.7 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, and 10.4 assists per game for the 12th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. From a pure statistical standpoint, there are only a handful of college players, let alone freshmen, that have put up averages like that in the history of the sport. It begs the question, where exactly is this coming from? Coming out of high school, Young was ranked the 23rd best player in the class of 2017. Although he was considered a 5-star prospect, he was nowhere near the level or prestige of a Marvin Bagley or Michael Porter Jr. according to draft scouts. At just 6'2" with a small frame relative to other NBA prospects, it might have even been hard for some to peg Trae as a one-and-done candidate before the season started. Yet, if we do a little digging into some of his high school tape, it is clear Young is one of the best scorers in the country, effortlessly putting on 40-point, 50-point performances regularly. And while there are countless of players who also can claim to score at this rate in high school, Young is one of the only few that has seen his game translate so seamlessly into college. According to KenPom, a college basketball stats website, the only other freshman point guards that can compare to what Young is doing right now include John Wall at Kentucky, D'Angelo Russell at Ohio State, Kyrie Irving at Duke, Cameron Payne at Murray State, and Dennis Smith at NC State last year. Now, I made a whole video on Kyrie's freshman year, link in bio, and although I think he was the most talented freshman point guard that I have ever seen in my lifetime, he was nowhere close to dominating the way Trae Young is at this current stage by the numbers. In fact, none of these players really do if we do a legit side-by-side comparison of their statistics for their respective year. Honestly, the best comparisons I can make to what Trae is doing right now would have to be Carmelo Anthony's national title winning year at Syracuse, Kevin Durant's lone year at Texas, and Michael Beasley's freshman campaign at Kansas State. Apart from these three, there are no other freshmen from the 21st century that can claim to have dominated the college game as much as Trae Young. As a result, in my opinion, this undisputable fact alone is a great sign for his NBA prospects. Because considering two of these players are headed to the Hall of Fame, and the other probably should be as well if he had his head on straight, I also made a video about this, I believe there is a solid likelihood that Trae will be able to adjust his game yet again to the rigors of professional basketball. Of course, I can't say with 100% certainty he's going to light up the box score from day one, and I do realize correlation does not equal causation when making comparisons to former players, but by just flirting with possibly having the greatest freshman college basketball season of all time, he has earned the right to be talked about as a future NBA star. Number 2. His feel for the game as both a scorer and passer greatly reduces bust potential. Now that we have gotten past the video game numbers aspect of Trae Young's game, it is time to analyze what he looks like on tape. As you can imagine from someone who accounts for over 50% of Oklahoma's points by himself, Young initiates the offense on just about every one of the Sooners' possessions. Unlike some college players who wow scouts based on one elite skill set, like say Lonzo Ball for his passing or Jahlil Okafor for his scoring, Trae is equally adept at scoring the rock and setting up his teammates at a top rate. Nothing explains this better than his 43-point showing against Oregon and an unbelievable 22-assist performance against Northwestern State. Although he carried a bit of a selfish reputation during his high school playing days, Young has been nothing short of excellent playing point guard this year, as he has been willing and able to find the open guy when opposing defenses decide to double him, or there is an opportunity to push the ball ahead in transition. In the half court, Trae combines his advanced ball handling with his great vision when turning the corner on his man to find both cutters and shooters once he gets into the lane. Unable to be sped up, one of Young's biggest secrets to his success is his subtle ability to change speeds. which comes in handy for both the pick and roll as well as isolation situations. Although he is not a great finisher at this stage, Trae carries a pro-level floater in his repertoire, and he unleashes this at the appropriate times. Even when he is not able to convert at the rim, Young does an admirable job creating contact with the defender, evidenced by his 8.5 free throw attempts a game. Once he does get to the line, NBA teams can have faith in his 86% free throw percentage, unlike some recent guards coming out of the lottery. From my perspective, with both aspects of scoring and passing heavily embedded in his game, Young should have a pretty high floor at the next level, and it looks like he has multiple avenues to which he can become an all-star player. If it becomes apparent he will indeed end up becoming a star, Young's status as a point guard can look the shape of a Damian Lillard with the score-first mentality, or a Chris Paul, a player who can score the rock plenty, but prefers to play a more traditional style at the point. The fact that it is impossible to guess which type of point guard he will look like in the NBA speaks to his pronounced versatility. And while the league is filled with young point guards at the moment, this rare trait in Young's game may be too hard to pass up come draft day. Number 1. He's the best shooter to enter the NBA draft since Stephen Curry. I really wonder what people in the comments would have said if I made a video on Trae Young and did not make a comparison to Steph Curry in some way. Yep, beyond all aspects of what makes Young so great, his ability to single-handedly dominate games via the long ball is the one that takes the cake. Shooting 41% from 3 on a whooping 9.7 3-point attempts per contest, Young's shot distribution truly does reflect that of Curry, both during his time at Davidson and with the Warriors. Comparing them via the eye test, what also stands out is their unwavering confidence in taking hilariously deep three-pointers that would bench just about any other player. The green light Young has at Oklahoma to take these shots is insane, but what is more insane is that Trae actually hits these at an elite clip. Although defenses try their best to contain Young's ability to shoot, the threat of him getting into the paint, along with his quick release at a second's notice, makes the task a highly difficult one to accomplish. Similar to Steph, Trae is untraditional in his knack for making these three-pointers off the dribble at such a high rate. In my opinion, this deadly weapon of his will ensure the court will open up for him and will ease the burden of challenging NBA defenses. Considering elite three-point shooting is a skill set that is being rewarded more and more and is reflected in the most successful teams in the league today, Young carries value to just about any team that will be able to draft him. But with that said, I do believe there are some red flags to watch out for before declaring he's going to shoot with the same success as Steph Curry. For starters, I noticed Young's release point on his shot is actually pretty low, and I'm curious if this is going to be a problem when he eventually is guarded by much longer NBA defenders. Since he shoots from such far distances, it may actually not impact him as much as someone who doesn't carry his range. Another point of consideration, however, is Young's catch and shoot ability. With so much of his production coming from when the ball is in his hands, we have not seen much of what Trae looks like when he's playing off the ball. For the youngsters in the crowd, in comparison to Curry, Steph was originally a shooting guard at Davidson who played a role similar to Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, running off screens and finding shot opportunities off the catch. As he has evolved in the NBA, his effectiveness as a shooter off the catch and off the dribble have pretty much become one and the same. For Young to reach these heights, the real answer will be to see if he can also adapt to shooting off the ball as well as he does on the ball. As the season is still bright and early for college basketball standards, I look forward to seeing if he will show this ability more once 2018 begins. Because even though he is a bit frail, lacks explosiveness, and is without a crazy wingspan, as Steph has proven to us all, the greatest equalizer today in pro basketball is the three-point shot, and it can elevate you to being a top 5 player in the league. So it is for that reason, and the other reasons I mentioned, that I believe Trae Young has a chance to be the next NBA superstar point guard. Anyways guys, that's the video, hope you enjoyed. Yeah, Trae Young is quite honestly a stud, and it wouldn't surprise me if he went number 1 overall, depending on which team is at the top. Touching on that last point a little bit more, if he can show his effectiveness on offense off the ball in 2018, it will only help boost his already booming draft stock. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball videos as we are closing in on 20k subscribers. Although I don't know if we will hit it before 2017 ends, just wanted to say 2017 was a great year, and I thank everyone for their support. Got some big things planned for 2018, so make sure to stay a part of the squad. With that said, hope everyone has a great new year, have some fun, I'll catch you guys soon, peace.